Welcome back. Today is day 8 of the Spellbinders Craftoween 2025 kit or box. The front of it has the crow and a candle holder with pumpkin, gourd, some books. So some of these things we've seen in some of our other ones, but the actual die is a cup and it has a ghost and some marshmallows and stuff. So I'm going to go over all the different pieces with you. I have the pieces here. And then I also have one that I have put together here. So I will use the put together one to show you kind of where everything is, and then I will also show you with the colored ones, or with the non-colored ones. I used white paper for everything, and then I just colored or distress inked. I used some brushes to do the cup, the little headstone, and the ghosty, and then I didn't do anything to the marshmallows. But so this is what it looks like put together. We're going to go over these pieces now, and I'm going to grab my pokey tool because I think that worked last time. So obviously the cup here, it does make impressions for the hearts. I don't know if you can see that on there. For the hearts, there's two here, the larger ones, and then the smaller one that is for the nose. So that is what these three are here, are the hearts. This piece here, right here, is the piece that goes underneath the mouth of it. So on my completed one here, you can see that the teeth are behind there. You can kind of see that I colored that, the black there. So that is what this piece is. And then you have the ghosty, which is right there. You have the tombstone, which you can take the center piece out if you want just the tombstone. I kept it in there. I actually didn't take anything off of here. I just put this all down on a white piece of paper and die cut all of it. And then the parts that stuck, I actually just poked through the paper that it's on. But if you wanted to do it separately, you could peel that piece off and then you could have the outline and you could do something different with the tombstone. But this is the way the tombstone comes out. It looks like I still have my eye in that one, but it does impress or cut out the sip or part of the sip there. This piece here is the marshmallows, which is this here. That's the marshmallows, and it does make an impression on the marshmallows so that it looks like there's individual marshmallows there. Then there is the bat. That's kind of just a decoration, but if you wanted to use the bat, you could easily cut off that string. This piece here, this oval piece, is this piece here, which is the eyes, nose, and mouth for the ghost there. This part here is the top of the cup. So it goes in your cup like that, and there is a slight impression on there that you can see where it goes because it does have an up and a down to it. So if you don't line it up perfectly, I don't think anybody that doesn't know that it's there is going to notice. But this is your main straw, and then these are the lines that are on the straw. So this is the main straw, and then these are the little lines that you would line up with the straw. So on this purple one here, I painted the stripes black, and then the straw itself is purple. So on the card that I made, I have an orange one, and then I have a red one, and I have purple for the eyes and nose and the mouth, and then I have red for eyes and nose and the mouth. I did not do them exactly like they did here. Now this one is different as well, so none of them are exactly alike, but I put the marshmallows and the bat down here on this one. I put the marshmallows and headstone down below on the cup on that one. I thought this was kind of punny or funny. Sip Sip Hooray. So that's the card that I made. And then we are going to make a really quick little envelope type thing for our box this week. But I'm going to set this stuff to the side. I did not have any double-sided paper, so I'm going to make my own double-sided paper because we're going to need it to be double-sided, what we're doing today. So I just have two pieces that I cut 6 by 6 on both of them from the Trick or Treat package from Hobby Lobby. And again, this is several years old. I'm going to use some tape as well as the glue. So give me my tape dispenser here. Should have grabbed that earlier, sorry about that. So I'm just going to use my tape gun here. Okay, so I put tape down all over it with my ATG gun, and then I'm going to use my glue press here to just put glue all around as well, just to be doubly. And I'm sorry for the sound of it going back and forth across the paper. There's going to be some folding in that in this one, so I want to make sure that I've got really good coverage on it. And then I'm going to line it up, and giving me the glue gives me the little bit of wiggle room, but then once I press down, the tape will catch. And see, I'm not quite even there, so I'm going to peel it apart, and I'm going to try this again here. I may have to trim it up a little bit, so we'll have just a little bit less than a 6x6, but I think we'll be okay. All right, now I'm going to take my larger score tool, because I have a thing on the back here that allows me to do it at an angle, but you don't have to have this. I take this off and put it up in the corner, and then I can put this up against it, and then I can line my points up. You can also, I have drawn a black line on my 6 here, which is the center point. You can take this and line both of those points up on the 6 and do the same thing. So I'm just going to score at that 6. And that's really the only time we're going to use the scoring tool, but we are making some more folds. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Like I said, if you've got a tool that's got that piece on there, that's great. It allows you to move it up there, otherwise drawing the black line. Now you just need to decide which way you want to be kind of the front, which way you want to be the back. It doesn't really bother me either way. It'll make a little more sense once we get to the point where you can see what we're doing here, but it's going to be a little envelope type thing. So that's our main fold. So we have just folded the piece of paper in half. Now I'm going to take this piece and fold it back so that that tip touches the bottom, and then I'm going to just crease. And depending on your paper, like my paper started to break a little bit there, it'll be okay. It's not, if I decided I wanted to go the other way because it didn't break on the black, I could do that. I could just fold it, and then there's that, and then I would just fold this back this way. Since we did the score on the purple, it doesn't break like it does when you don't score it, but again, it's personal preference. It did not bother me either way. So now I'm going to take the corners, and I'm taking the part that's on the diagonal here and folding it up to the flat part of the flap that we just made. And since we have 2 pieces of paper, it is thicker than what it normally would be if you're only using 1 piece of paper and then decorating. I just figured this would be the easiest way to do it, quickest way. And then we're doing the same thing with the other side. We're folding it up to that edge there. You could make it bigger if you wanted to by just not coming all the way over with it, but now you have a little envelope here. So you have this little pocket. I am going to use glue, and I'm going to glue this one down, and then I'm going to glue that one down as well, but we're going to do these 2 first. And I'm going to press with my bone folder to make sure that I'm getting adhesion there, and then I'm going to put a lot of glue on this top flap here. If you didn't want it to stay glued down, you wouldn't have to do all that glue. I want it to stay glued down, so I'm going to press, and I may have some that comes out, may come out on my emboss or in my bone folder. I will take care of that in a minute. I'll just wipe it off. but I just want to be sure that it's staying down. So now we have our little pocket there. And then I'm putting my cup right on the front. I think the bat was the only thing that wouldn't be touching, so I'm not going to put any glue on the bat, but I'm going to put my cup down on here. And I am going to add a little line down. Sorry for that sound, folks. A little bit down there because it does get part of the bat. And if you have something heavy, set it on there because you do have a lot of layers there. But this will fit some tea bags, but you could also put candy in here if you didn't want tea bags. But since it says sip, I thought it would be cute to have some little tea bags in here. So it fits 3 little tea bags in there. So I think this little cup is really, really cute. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And hopefully you like the shorter version of this, the putting the card together. You guys kind of know how to do that. I did use a black layer back here. This front piece is from a cardstock or card pack La Creme. I think I got this from Walmart. I mean, it's from 2009 from DCWV, yeah. So some of them are flocked papers that are in here, but there's a lot of, like this one has some flocking, this one has some flocking at the bottom, this one is flocked. So it was a neat paper pad, but I've just had it for years. I have a problem hoarding the paper, and now I'm just trying to use the paper, and I thought that was cute for the background of the card. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.